The Final Four is here. We are down to the 4 best teams, which just happen to be all 4 number 1 seeds. No matter what happens, we're going to have a great matchups for the Final Four, and we're going to have an even better matchup for the national championship. Let's get right into my Final Four predictions. Now, I should also mention, I did promise an Elite 8 prediction video. I didn't make it because I was in a depressive episode. That Michigan loss to Auburn absolutely destroyed me. I was so mad. The crash out of all crash outs happened. That was an atrocious loss. So sorry I didn't make an Elite 8 video, but I'm sure you guys could have guessed who I had in all my picks based on my original bracket video for my Final Four. 3 out of my 4 teams in the Final Four I got right. So. All right, first game in the Final Four, we got Florida versus Auburn. Both teams have been up and down up until this point, right? Auburn obviously beat Michigan in the Sweet 16, unfortunately. And then they beat Michigan State in the Elite 8, also unfortunately. Let's just put it like this before I even get into the prediction. Auburn has fucked me in the ass so hard last weekend. I bet on Michigan. I bet on Michigan State. The state of Michigan! I was riding with you! And they killed me. Auburn, I have a hatred for Auburn that words cannot express my hatred for Auburn. But in any case, fuck it. Auburn beat Michigan. Auburn beat Michigan State. Both pretty good wins. Versus Michigan, they started out really poorly. They scored 39 points with about 12 minutes left to go in the second half. They ended up scoring an additional 39 points in the remaining 12 minutes, which goes to show what kind of game that was. And the Michigan State game, they led pretty much the whole way through. They were pretty dominant all the way. Michigan State had some pushes here and there, but in the end, Auburn really put their fist down. Florida had interesting little matchups as well. Their first game in the Sweet 16, well, not the first game, the Sweet 16 game, they played Maryland, and they pretty much dominated that whole game, controlled the game, controlled the tempo, did not get challenged or pushed by Maryland at any point in that game. Easy win for Florida. Their Elite 8 matchup versus Texas Tech was a completely different story. They were playing well, and then Texas Tech just turned it on. Late in the second half, Florida was down as much as 10 points. It looked like it was over. However, the Florida big men clutched up. Walter Clayton Jr., the next Steph Curry in my opinion, but we'll get to that when the NBA draft comes around, balled out, hit monster 3-pointers, and led Florida to a comeback victory over Texas Tech to get them into the Final Four. And now we got Florida versus Auburn, SEC matchup. We've seen this matchup before this season, and now we get to see who will come out on top and represent the SEC in the national championship. Let's get it off the bat. You know who I'm going with. One of these teams I faded the entire tournament. Another one of these teams I've rode with the entire tournament. Surprise, surprise, I'm going to fade the team I keep fading, and I'm going to ride with the team that I keep riding. I'm going Florida. Florida is going to beat Auburn for 2 reasons. 1, every time a team has fucked me in this tournament, they have gotten their ass handed to them by Florida right after that. Right? You look at what happened with Maryland, Colorado State. Florida beats the shit out of Maryland. Right? I had Arkansas money line as well as spread, but still had the money line. Texas Tech pulls off a crazy comeback versus Arkansas. Florida smacks them in the face. Auburn has fucked me not once, not twice, but 3 times if you're counting the Creighton game. I mean, I didn't bet that much on that game, but still, they fucked me 3 times. Florida is going to get my lick back for me because they love me. And I love them. I actually said, you guys can find this if you really want to, in one of the streams, I don't know which one it was, but when I was streaming NFL games, maybe it was a college football game as well, I said Florida is going to win the national championship. I actually took Florida 60-1 way back when the season first started. Unfortunately, I did parlay it with Texas to win the Natty. So we know how that went. But still, I did have him, right? Right? You got my word. Just trust me, bro. Besides that, Florida loves me and I love Florida. The actual basketball aspect of this game, the best part of Auburn's team and Auburn's offense, and arguably their defense as well, is, surprise, surprise, Johnny Broom. And I don't care if it's not pronounced Johnny Broom. It's spelled Johnny Broom. I'm calling him fucking Johnny Broom. I don't give a shit what his fucking name is pronounced like. He is by far the star player, the superstar, the best, undisputed best player on this Auburn team. He is everything that they need and everything that they must have. Now, he did get injured in that Michigan State game and left for like 10 minutes and came back. But honestly, I think that was fake. I think it was bullshit. Look, he thought he was Willis Reed. Johnny Broom thought he was Willis Reed. Are you fucking crazy? He ain't no Willis Reed. He ain't no Willis Reed. Stop that shit. He hurt his little elbow. Oh, my elbow. You're a grown-ass man. Get the fuck up and start playing some fucking basketball. Johnny Broom is lucky. He's lucky that Michigan State just sucks balls and could not do anything. When Johnny Broom got injured, I think it was like what? Auburn by 10. When Johnny Broom came back, it was like Auburn by 10. So Michigan State couldn't capitalize on the opportunity because they're bitch made. In any case, fuck Michigan State. Johnny Broom is Auburn. If Johnny Broom does not have a good game, Auburn does not have a good game. They have decent second options, right? Chad Baker-Mazara, who's been a complete no-show this entire tournament. Denver Jones is decent, and that freshman kid they bring off the bench is also pretty good. So they have options, but none of them are as good as Broom. Florida are super, super deep, and their deepest positions are the power forward and center positions. Florida has not one, not two, not three, but four strong big men that can body Broom in the paint. If I'm Florida, I'm throwing bodies at Broom like I said they would do versus Maryland and Derek Queen. Don't let Broom bully and control the paint. If Broom is getting easy layups inside the paint and he's grabbing rebounds, offensive and defensive, Auburn is going to win the game. If I'm Florida, I'm not scared to play physical with Broom. Rough him up. He can't compete with all four big men. There's so many of them. It doesn't matter if one of them or two of them get in foul trouble, as long as Broom gets roughed up, frustrated, and can't do shit with the ball once he has it. So, as long as Florida big men do what they need to do, Florida will dominate. Florida will win. In terms of guard play, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Florida dominates Auburn. Dominates. Walter Clayton Jr. is a lottery pick, without a doubt in my mind. Walter Clayton Jr. is a superstar. I'm gonna glaze him like a motherfucker. You thought I glazed, what's his name? Jaden Daniels in NFL? Just wait till Walter Clayton hits the NBA. Because I'm gonna glaze that motherfucker as well. And yeah, all the other guards, Will Richards and whatever his name is, all the fucking Elijah Martin, they're beasts, better than Auburn by a mile. Give me Florida all day. All day. Auburn's time has come. They're bitch made. They don't deserve to be here. I'm sick and tired of all the bullshit that they have got away with this entire tournament. I'm sick of it. Give me Florida to win this game and cover the spread. I'm putting my fucking life savings on Florida. I don't give a shit. I know what happens when I say, oh, I'm going to take a big bet on so-and-so. Yeah, I know how it goes. I'm putting everything I own on Florida. Florida is going to win this game. Florida is going to dominate. It's not even going to be close. Florida is better in the paint. Florida is better on the outside. They have every position group is better than Auburn's. Look, the only thing Auburn has that Florida doesn't, I would say, is coaching. Personally, I think Bruce Pearl is a very good coach. Definitely a much better coach than Golden. And I witnessed this live when he completely outcoached Dusty May in that Michigan game. I have to stop talking about this Michigan game. I'm going to throw up. It's how the fuck did Michigan lose that game? But whatever. It's Florida versus Auburn. I have to talk about Florida and Auburn. Florida's going to dominate. Florida's going to bully. Florida's going to control everything they need to control. Give me Florida to win. Give me Florida to cover. I'm betting it, and I'm betting it hard. Next game, the second game of the Final Four. We have 1 seed Houston versus 1 seed Duke. I love this matchup. This is the matchup I was excited for, and I actually perfectly predicted. This is exactly what I had in my Final Four. The Houston versus Duke matchup. The undisputed 2 best teams in that side of the bracket. I'm excited for this one. So obviously with Duke, this game I'll be a little bit more calm because these teams haven't pissed me off. Obviously with Duke, we know who their best player is. It's Cooper Flagg. He's going to be the number 1 overall pick in the NBA. He's a one-and-done type of player. I'm assuming, there's rumors he might stay, but I doubt it. He's going to be the man that leads Duke to victory. But I think underrated players on Duke are not getting the love they deserve. Knipple is nice. What's the other? Proctor is nice. They have a good squad around them. I gotta say, man, Duke's got a scary team. It's not a one-man show. And if you look at historically Duke teams, especially as of recently, when they have had this undisputed number 1 pick, they fell short of expectations. If you remember that one year where Zion was on Duke, it was his one-and-done year. But it was like Zion, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, and they barely made it, I think, to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. They did not make it that far that year. But obviously Cooper Flagg and this Duke team is a completely different team. John Shire has done a fantastic job coaching this team, brought them all the way here. So you can't sleep on Duke. As for Houston, I got to give Houston a lot of credit. The consistency that they have maintained over these last 5 years or so has been unbelievable. It really has. They are consistently in the tournament, consistently one of the best seeds, and making it far. However, they have never made it to the promised land. They've never made it to a point where they can play for a national championship, right? Their coach has been there for a while now. He's done a great job. Their team, I really like this Houston team. I really do. You got Juwan Roberts. He's an absolute stud. Uzan, however you pronounce it, is a beast as well. LJ Cryer's a stud. Sharp is decent as well. They're very deep. They play physical defense. They play a physical style of basketball that frustrates a lot of teams. No matter who wins this matchup, it's going to be a great one, in my opinion. I really think that neither of these teams are going to blow the other one out. 2 very strong defensive teams, and you could see it by the over-under in this game. It's 135. 135. That says everything that you need to know. This game is going to be physical. It's going to be slow. It's going to be low scoring. You have 2 of the best defensive teams. That's what you expect. But you have 2 teams that can also score the ball pretty well. With this being said, I'm going with my original pick when I predicted this in my bracket, and I'm going with Houston to pull off the upset. I know, it's a shocker. Look, Duke has a great team. I'm well aware that Duke has a great team. I'm also well aware that Houston has been here, done that, and they always fall short. This year has to be the difference maker. It has to be the year they overcome their demons and make it to the Natty and potentially even win the Natty. I'm not going to give my pick away for the Natty because I'll make a video about that. Assuming there's not a fucking... If Auburn upsets Florida by 10 or more, I might kill myself. That's a joke. Not really. In any case, Houston versus Duke. Give me Houston. Give me Houston on the spread. Give me Houston on the money line. I'm betting this one also. I'm probably not betting it as hard as I'm betting Florida. But nevertheless, I'm still confident that Houston will outplay Duke. If Houston shuts down Cooper Flagg and makes the other guys beat them, yeah, I know Knipple's nice, Proctor's nice, but they're not good enough to lead Duke over Houston without Flagg giving his real contribution on both offense and defense side of the ball. Houston will do whatever it's got to do to shut down Flagg, and that will be the reason they will win this game. Give me Houston to cover the spread. Give me Houston to win this game. I'm going to have a Florida versus Houston national championship. I'm betting both games. I'm confident in both games. I'm super confident in the Florida game, and I'm pretty confident in the Houston game. Let me know your thoughts below on my Final Four predictions, and let me know who you guys got in the comments.